Good morning, 7th of February 21. Crew Management 21. Long-term statistical wage scales proved in Candina Group that when we have, let's say, individualistic solutions, egoist solutions, selfish solutions are in the short term, and that all sides involved in these decisions go against the long-term interest of ship owner. Let me give you an example. About 1965 to 1985, we used to be involved in the crew management of a big Norwegian company, either tank and LNG. Now, in 1985, my late father told me that this captain was going to go direct with the owner. And indeed, that happened. Many reasons for that. But history teaches experience and how to avoid these risks. What happened is that then this big bunch of Spanish officers suddenly started to get wage increases since 1985. Then the diversification of nationalities from the ship owner, because this cost rise in the wages made the LNG and the tank side, both sides, to really go low in the numbers of supply of Spanish officers because the cost and because this, let's say, selfish, egoist, short-minded term. And therefore, this whole tank ships, let's say 10, 12 tank ships, then the Spanish officers lost all the jobs. So at the beginning, even for the officers, you might think, well, it is very interesting that I take away this crew management company and I go direct, and therefore I will increase my wage. But if you look at it in 15, 20 years lifespan of the project, then, which is the life of the ship, then you see that there is no life after 5 years. So if you take this path, normally what happens is that the wages go up, the service go down. Of course, there is not the crew management long-term intrinsic compound value, and all sides at the beginning think that this is the most interesting target to take away the crew management company. But even from the Spanish officer side, if we think intelligently about this, then perhaps the crew manager could have provided other solutions. Then in the LNG side, as the tank went down in, say, 3 years, 1990, already gone. It was Croatians, Filipinos, other nationalities, and there was no more long term. So it is not even a corporate social responsibility, because if I am an officer, if I am a captain, I want the next generation. What I'm doing is for the next generation. It's not for me. It's not selfish competitive advantage. It's something that I want to live, teach. That was the tank, gone. So then we have the LNG. In the LNG, the same thing happened. We even got more, let's say, experienced, because it happened twice. And the same group of officers thought the same thing for the second time, and probably, well, yes, everybody will have to pay the price, like owners will have to pay higher wages, and then this supply of LNG of Spanish officers will probably go bust. We have to wait and see. But this is like a 20-year gap that I don't foresee much long term. Should that be that long term, then we would really would have to go back to the crew management position. Why? Because the crew managers, we can adjust and we can, let's say, have the mean value as statistics say, the mean, the average. Therefore, we can, let's say, mix different nationalities so we can keep the budget. If we keep the budget, then the owner is happy. If we train other nationalities, then it is very good also for the Spanish officers in this case, because then that means that now and then we can put more players, we can put more Spanish cadets and Spanish engineers and Spanish officers, and so it is the way to keep the long term, both for the ship owner budget and the crew experience and quality of the crew, because the crew is of course 100% perfect. And then it is also for the officers, because you can think that perhaps earning a 5% more, it is more important for you. But if you multiply this times 5 years, so if you earn 70 times 5 is 350. But if you multiply 70 times 20, so that's 1.4. Yes, million. So then this is the kind of comparison that you have to do. It's better, from my point of view, to earn 20 years less, because if you look at the stock exchange, if you look at the value, the intrinsic value you have for the officer side, is much more interesting. But if you are corporate social responsibility from the ship owner side, of course, the real solution is that this ship owner could go back to Candina and to any other crew manager, because we can multiply this long-term compounded intrinsic value in the key performance indicators to simplify either cost and quality. And it is the same thing for the officers. They can multiply that wage for 20 years and then have a very clear career, and then be focused into the ship owner, one system, one quality, improve the safety, improve the operations, and not just jumping around because of these 5-10% more wage. Because the most important thing in the career, in your professional career, it is the multiplication of the number of years. This is very simple, as some very intelligent investors say. The intrinsic value is perpetuity, and it's not you and me, it's a question of what we leave behind, what we teach to others, that perhaps they can multiply times 1,000 years, whilst we cannot. And this will stay in our area of competence, in our neighborhoods, in our houses, in our countries, and in this planet, and in the maritime industry. So the maritime industry also will be benefited, compounded throughout these decisions. So we welcome you back. We hope that we make a decision regarding the long-term strategic, say, wage policy, nationality policy, pool policy, digital policy. There is many areas that we can work together to unite this and make our ship owners' interest compound in the long term. And the safety is really the area that matters too. So I hope you have liked this video, and have a nice Sunday. Bye.